Today, we're going to review a actual SBA applicant's kind of details. Hey, this is Kyle at ProjectionHub. In today's video, we've got a fun one for you. Myself and ProjectionHub founder and owner Adam Hoeksma, who's also a longtime former SBA lender. Today, we're going to review a actual SBA applicant's kind of details. Now, they've been anonymized, obviously for privacy, but we're going to review some high-level details of their application, and we're going to talk about and discuss, do we think they've got a good shot at getting approved? Do we even think they should apply? What are some red flags? What are some things they should consider? So this is a new type of video we're going to do. We've got a lot of these different kind of application details that we can anonymize, and we heard some feedback that would be really valuable for people to actually kind of hear what are some real life use cases. You know, we know not every application is going to have the perfect credit score. We know not everybody's going to have $500,000 in savings to start a business. So what do those real life startup applications look like, and what kind of feedback, and how are lenders looking at those? So sit tight, enjoy this video. If you like it and it's helpful at any point to you, you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. But more importantly, if you find yourself in the position where you're considering starting a business or buying a business or expanding a business, and you thought about maybe, applying for an SBA loan, or you might need to apply for an SBA loan, but you're just not sure, what are your odds? Would you have a good application? Feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to give you a free review, give you some feedback, and give you some of the details like we do in this video, but for your specific situation. So go ahead and enjoy this video and like it and subscribe it if you enjoy it. Thanks. We can take a look at some of the high level details, and we're going to get Adam's sage wisdom. We'll do the quick breakdown, and then I want to get your quick thoughts, the gut check on, put your lender, I don't have to tell you, put your lender hat on. Your lender hat is always on, right? It's just like permanently stuck to your head. Your 2 cents on this one. Would you like it as a lender? What would the red flags be? What would you need to know more of? And maybe some tips and recommendations for this person. So the quick breakdown, we're going to say Florida, startup, estimated $400,000 net worth, earning $45,000 on a job, I assume. This isn't that important yet. High personal credit score, almost 800. They've got more than 30 years of bookkeeping experience. They would likely not be able to obtain the SBA owner investment required amount. They want to start their own bookkeeping notary service. So basically, it sounds like they want to strike out on do it their own, right? They're tired of working for somebody else. Give us your take on this one.
Yeah, so I think this is one that seems like start even smaller. Like $40,000 for, you're providing bookkeeping services. Like it looks like you need a computer effectively, right? And so, do you really need working capital necessarily? Do you really need leasehold improvements? That implies that there's an office. Like you probably just work from home to start with. Maybe rent a co-working space or something, but so that'd be my take. Is honestly probably start this. So get your first customers without taking a loan at all. Like go find a customer, go find a few customers, start doing the services, and then as you go from there, you could say, okay, hey, I've got 10 customers. It'd be really nice to have an office to meet with them at. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's build out an office. Get some furniture. Like. That's my take.
Heck, even in that, there's still another step there that can be taken, right? You can rent an office, not like a co-working space, but there are some that are more like a professional office or conference room or something like that you could use as needed if you wanted to do it that way. So obviously, looking through this, your gut reaction is like, don't get a loan, bootstrap this, which I think is probably common advice for any like professional service. Like if there's a way for you to do this from your computer, from your home, like you don't need a loan to start it. And that's probably not where you need to. Probably my recommendation would be like, if you get to the point where you might need an employee or something like that, or, in-person matters, especially for your team or your employees, then you might start thinking about an office space or something like that. But let's assume this person did apply for an SBA loan, right? So you are the SBA lender and they applied, and this is what their application looked like. What would be the response? Like if you were obligated to make a good loan as you see it, regardless if in your head you think they should just start it from home on their computer, are there any aspects of this that would be like a red flag or things you would like, or what would be your takeaway?
I think that maybe one big question is like they've got that outside income of 45,000, and would that continue, or is that going to go away once this business is started? I mean, I would hope. I mean, your first client is probably not going to pay you 45,000 a year. So like, if it wouldn't be a conflict of interest, it'd be nice to like start this business part-time, get a few customers. So if the client was keeping the day job and then, could really make a good case for why they needed 40,000, again, it's probably one of those scenarios where we say, how about we start you with 10, go get a few customers, and then we'll grow with you from there. But
it's probably worth mentioning too for the audience, like a $40,000 loan, like I'm not scoffing at $40,000. It's a lot of money. In regards to a business loan, that is going to be small enough that it could qualify in the SBA microloan program, which are loans that go up to 50,000. So like if you go to your bank and you say, hey, I want a $40,000 business loan, an SBA loan, they may not want to mess around with a $40,000 loan, like for an SBA. Like on the back end, behind the scenes, like the SBA is a process. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of steps. There's a lot of things you got to go through. So in order for like it to be worth it, I think for your typical SBA lender, like they're needing the dollar amount to be a little bit higher for, to make money for the bank to keep the lights on, service the loan. But this is a perfect loan request for an SBA microlender, right? Those they're out there, they're ready to make loans. Maybe not 40,000 right away. I think a max microloan, they probably want some equipment to be involved or something like that. But for professional service startup, like microloans all day. Like if you got to get a loan, that would be my advice. Definitely. When you're under 50,000, you might get in the neighborhood where you're tempted to like put it on a credit card or like do something like that. And if you have to get a loan, I would say check out an SBA microloan prior to. Cool. All right. Well, that is our first scenario. We'll leave it at that one for today. So yeah, there we have it. 2 burning SBA questions and one. Next time I'll try to bring you a juicier SBA scenario. I want to make you think a little bit harder on if you would want to make it or not.
That sounds good. It was fun.
Cool. Well, we will see you guys on the next one then. If you're a startup, you're a business, if you're an existing business trying to buy a business, you need help with things like creating financial projections, writing a business plan, applying for an SBA loan. These are all things that we specialize in. We have, between Adam and I, we've got almost 20 years, more than 20 years of experience in SBA lending. I'm taking a lot of credit for most of Adam's experience there, but that's kind of our background, and we help people do these things every single day. So if you have a question out there, like if you're sitting there like, I'm really thinking about how to start my business and I consider an SBA and you're like, where the heck do I even start? Just go check out our website, ProjectionHub.com. You can reach out to us directly at support@ProjectionHub.com and we'll help you kind of get started and figure out what you got to do next. All right. I'll see you in the next one.
Yep. Thanks.